tired of reading with your eyes? Your attention span can't handle sitting still and scrolling through an article anymore? Well, I've got the program for you. Introducing Speechify, an AI text-to-speech website that is the future of reading. Instead of focusing all your attention on all these words on a page, you can do something else while you only half pay attention to a robot read you the 60 pages of reading your professor assigned you that's due tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but let's actually talk about what Speechify is. The founders of Speechify are Cliff and Tyler Weitzman, brothers who debuted the website in 2017. Cliff Weitzman was a student at Brown University who struggled with written content because of his dyslexia. Although Speechify's website lists both of them as the founders, it mainly paints Cliff as the creator, talking about how his challenges with dyslexia inspired him to make the site. Where's Tyler? Oh, here he is, all the way at the bottom. He's just listed as brother and co-founder. Poor dude. Look, even this site only lists Cliff Weitzman as the founder. What happened to Tyler? Anyways, Speechify was originally created as a tool to assist dyslexic people with reading. However, as Speechify's audience grew, its uses grew too. It wasn't just dyslexic people using the site, but it also made reading easier for people who just didn't have time to read. For example, students can use it to listen to their assigned reading while they do other things like draw, fold laundry, or cook. This makes reading more accessible to neurodivergent people, who often process information better when their hands are occupied. It can also help students stay focused in their readings. After all, it's harder to jump ahead in the reading or get distracted on your phone when someone else is reading along with you. It also makes reading more fun when, instead of the voice in your head, it's John Cena explaining the concepts of Italian neorealism to you. Now, Speechify is currently funded by 3 different investors: G9 Ventures, Adjacent, and Streamline Ventures. Who are these investors? G9 Ventures seems to be a company that invests in new businesses that are starting up. Their focus seems to be geared more towards feminine, fitness, and food companies, as they invested in Kosas Makeup, Athletic Greens, Meaty Health, and Hollywood actor Gwyneth Paltrow's famous Goop. I'll never get over how unserious that name is. Goop. Speaking of Gwyneth Paltrow, her voice is actually available on Speechify's website. So, Gwyneth, what do you think about G9 Adventures?
Thanks for asking, Emily. Well, interestingly, they also invested in the app, Saturn. This app is meant to help high school students by connecting them with peers that can keep them organized and focused on their schoolwork. So it seems like this company also values accessible education programs, of which Speechify fits the bill.
Thank you, Gwyneth. Now, to move on, Adjacent's investment seems to prioritize digital programs like websites and mobile apps. Other companies they've invested in include PetsApp, an app for veterinarians, and Polycam, a 3D capturing website. Finally, Streamline Ventures invests in software companies that use AI, APIs, blockchain, metaverse, and data science in order to allow the market of technology to continue to evolve and grow. It's a great goal, but their self-proclamation that they believe that the founders of companies are the true heroes of entrepreneurial value creation in our society comes off as a bit pretentious. So how does Speechify actually work? Well, the free version allows you to paste text into a speech box. Then you just click a voice that you want to read you, and there it goes.
You can even adjust the speed you want it to speak at, a useful feature for people who need to hear things slower or who want to speed through their reading. With the paid version, which comes at a whopping $30 a month and that I don't have, you can upload PDFs and other files instead of just copying and pasting the text.
Now, what has to be considered in the creation of text-to-speech technology? Natural human speech is actually extremely difficult to reproduce mechanically. The process of turning text into speech can be broken down into 4 main blocks, as seen in this graphic provided by Harsh Maheshwari. The preprocessor breaks a sentence down into single words. Then, that information is fed into the encoder, which uses AI to predict the energy, pitch, and duration that a person would use when speaking the words. These latent features are then run through the decoder, which processes it into an acoustic feature known as a Mel spectrogram. Mel spectrograms are complicated. There's a lot of math to it. Too much math for my little literature major brain to understand, but long story short, it has more audio information than an actual audio file because it captures details in low and high frequencies in order to more accurately mimic human speech. The last step in the text-to-speech process is using a vocoder to turn the MEL spectrogram into a waveform output. This is the audio that we use in here, like when Snoop Dogg made his way into this video to read me my own script. To summarize all of this in a more digestible manner, the sentence gets split up into words, then an AI that has listened to a lot of human speech assigns sounds to each word. Next, a computer organizes these sounds while listening to tiny details that humans probably wouldn't notice unless they were absent. Finally, this is made into the speech part of the text-to-speech, and the computer will read out whatever you put into the text box. While exploring Speechify, I noticed that you can actually clone your own voice and use it for your own purposes. I don't have the paid version because $30 a month, so I couldn't make myself say anything except the default script. But can you tell the difference between me and my clone? Well, here she is.
Your voice clone opens up a world of possibilities. Imagine using it for audiobooks, podcasts, voiceovers, or even sending personalized voice messages to loved ones. The opportunities are limitless, and we can't wait to see how you'll leverage this incredible tool.
Yeah, I can't wait to send personalized voice messages to my loved ones with her. Well, whoever that is, because it's not me. I might end up traumatizing my grandparents, actually. I mean, they don't even know what AI is. Besides creeping me out a bit, what are the other harmful consequences that can come from Speechify? Well, the first thing that stood out to me was that the website advertises its text-to-speech being used for video games and animations. This takes away a large portion of jobs from voice actors. What's crazy is that they have an entire FAQ dedicated to talking about how much voice actors make, the value of their work, and how long they have to work. Yet they still have a little bit that says you can use Speechify for voice acting. I feel like this is just a bit of a cash grab attempt, though, as Speechify is known for being pricey, and their voice technology isn't natural sounding enough to produce the same quality of voice acting as real professionals. It just feels like an insult to voice actors, after all. Voice actors losing out on jobs because of AI is a real thing that is happening now. Another thing I noticed with Speechify is its choice and representation. Just off the bat, the free voice options for Speechify are lacking in diversity. Out of 8 of them, only 2 of them are colored, and only 2 are female. There's not a lot of diversity in voices either, with 7 out of the 8 of them being American. However, I think it's important to also consider what diversity and representation means in a situation like this. Can anyone really be represented by just a voice with no person behind it? Yes! Voices alone are actually really important in representation, and even more so since the voices in Speechify come with a face. It's often celebrities and well-known people. People who aren't cisgendered often experience anxiety and embarrassment about their voices. Of these 8 free options, 5 don't have an identity, and 3 are cisgendered. I think that with its popularity, Speechify has the opportunity to provide more diversity in voice representation for the LGBTQ+ community. It should also be mentioned, though, that the voices here aren't the only voices available for use. They're just the only ones available for free use, but $30 a month, so I'm assuming that the majority of people only use the free voices. It's also worth noting that the free-to-use voices are listed as the trending voices, which means that they're probably the ones that are the most used. This could mean that they're subject to change, but I'd imagine that since they're available for free, that would cement their status as the top used voices. Text-to-speech AI allows users to make a designated person say anything, and this can lead to harmful effects if malicious people use it. However, Speechify doesn't give users the ability to add emotion to speech, so I doubt anyone can be tricked by Speechify-produced speech. I mean, just listen to these 2 audios side by side and try to guess which is the AI and which is the person. Here's clip number 1.
I just bought this entire grocery store, which includes enough food to literally feed an entire city.
And here's clip number 2.
I just bought this entire grocery store, which includes enough food to literally feed an entire city.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. But I mean, I guess it's not horrible. Other sites like Typecast, though, can and has been used to scam people. However, in listening to one of the voices on Speechify, specifically John, I noticed that it is the exact same voice I hear in YouTube voiceovers that summarize movies. The appeal of this is that you are able to stay anonymous while making money off of lazy content. I can't say there's much creativity to using a robot voice to summarize a movie you did not make, but YouTube is saturated with this type of content. I mean, even I occasionally go on watching sprees of these kinds of videos. I think that this provided anonymity and easy access to a source that can read long scripts perfectly, because hell if I can, enables this kind of lazy, copyrighted content, which is harmful to movie creators that pour their life into creating films. People just watch these YouTube videos instead of going out to watch the movies. But then, were they ever gonna really go out and watch the movies in the first place? I don't know. Overall, other than its advertised extra use of being a substitute voice actor, Speechify doesn't seem like a harmful program. Text-to-speech AI itself can produce lots of harmful effects for voice actors, singers, and just regular people. That's why even though we get funny videos like this,
My name is what? My name is my name. What the hell is my name?
we also get voice actors tweeting things like this. However, since Speechify prioritizes itself as a document reading assistant, it doesn't play into those harmful effects. The voices it uses are natural enough that Snoop Dogg reading you your homework is entertaining, but not so much that you can be scammed into thinking you've been chosen as a lucky guest in a Mr. Beast video. So overall, I think that Speechify is a good website. It serves its intended purpose, which is to help people with reading disabilities read better and have more access to written content. But the level of voice accuracy in Speechify isn't good enough to warrant much malicious usage of what the site produces. So overall rating of Speechify, 5 out of 10, because why does it cost $30 a month to use? If it was free, 10 out of 10. It wasn't just I cannot say this word. It wasn't just dyslexic. It wasn't just dyslexic. It wasn't just dyslexic people using the site, but also it wasn't. It wasn't just